Present.
Councilmember Africa Luna Carrasco,
Present.
Councilmember Jose Ponce,
Present.
Councilmember Matias Rosales,
Present.
Councilmember Gloria Torres,
Present.
Vice Mayor Maria Cecilia Cruz,
Present.
Mayor Gerardo Sanchez.
Present.
Mayor, you have a quorum.
Thank you, Sonia. We're going to go ahead and go with the items for discussion only. Item number 2A, discussion and possible actions, direction of staff and on all matters regarding the annual employee recognition event tentatively scheduled for December 11, 2020. Sandra Matthews.
Good evening, Mayor, Vice Mayor, and Council.
Good evening.
I wanted to bring to you this item for direction. Every December, as you know, we have an event for staff, a recognition and a event that the city puts on for all staff. And due to the pandemic and the conditions that we're in at the moment, we wanted to get your direction on how you would like us to proceed. We did reach out to the Employee Recognition Committee and ask them what they would, recommend or what they would like to see happen. Several of them suggested doing a virtual event or postponing the event till a later time for safety reasons, or possibly doing an outdoor event. So we are coming to the council to see what you guys would like us to do.
Well, those are excellent choices. Actually, I last week I started thinking about what was the status, because there's a lot of people asking about the parks and about the different events. And I'm thinking the safest way to have an event like this would be an outside event, possibly with canopies and with enough social distancing, a possibility. And of course, wearing your mask when appropriate. And I'll leave it open to what council thinks, but I think we should have some type of recognition. And so, well, according to our president, we should have a vaccine a month before that. So that's what I hear. So I don't know. So I'm going to go ahead and open the floor to open discussion. Jose Ponce, what do you think?
Mayor, I agree with you. I mean, I feel that we should have something. It doesn't matter. I mean, it's virtual or on the open area. With, of course, I mean, taking all precautions. Yeah, I agree with you. Whatever the rest of the council, they decide to do, I will get along with it. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Jose. Vice Mayor, questions, comments, concerns?
It doesn't really matter. I would prefer to gather, have the recognition, but it's still kind of iffy on the socializing. But yeah, Mayor, I'll go with you, whether we can have an outside event and have the proper distancing, and I'm fine with that.
Thank you. Thank you. Matias, what's your opinion?
That's going to be a tough one because outdoor events, wearing masks, depends if we're going to have music, they're going to be dancing. We do need to figure out something creative to recognize our employees that work hard all year and normally they look forward to this night, they can relax and let loose and enjoy everybody's company after work. So we have to do something. It's just making sure we're safe and not put anyone in risk. So I'm not sure, like you're saying, we do outside events, but then what are we going to have other items like the music? Are they going to be dancing or not?
You can be socially distanced by dancing also. So no, the reason I said that is because, for example, the Founders Day virtue, there was the maximum I saw was maybe 69 people. And the thing is, the participation in virtual events are basically non-existent. And we have to recognize, but at the same time, keep our employees safe. And I'm pretty sure not everyone's going to go, but we do have to offer 'em an option and a safe option, because I think outside we can have plenty of room, not inside. Inside is just creating a little incubator there, but I think we can socially distance. I think we could try possibly do something or limit, but I mean, we can think about it, but we definitely need to recognize our employees. But at the same time, I mean, we can cancel it. We can cancel it for next year, and that's also another option. Pero employees have worked hard, and I think the fire department and police department, they need their kitchen utensils replaced with
Mayor,
all the
can I,
prices.
Mayor, can I
So-
interject?
Yes, please.
We normally start planning before now, so if we are hoping to make a decision, because if they would like us to do this, we need to get on the ball. The other option that we can do is merge this event with the picnic that we do in the spring, and that would allow us a little bit more time to see where things are with the vaccination and do the safety precautions. I just wanted to give you that information that we are looking for direction sooner rather than later, so that we know which way to move with our vendors and things like that.
Mayor, may I ask a question?
Please do.
Sandra, when is the picnic scheduled for?
We don't have a date yet, but it's usually April, May.
April, May. And did you ask employees, Sandra, who would be willing to attend the event?
No, we didn't ask employees. We asked the Employee Recognition Committee, and that is made up of employees from each department. So they reach out to their department and get a census, and then responded to our questionnaire. And we didn't specifically ask them if they were interested in attending. We asked them if they thought we should postpone it or have it, and that's where we got the feedback that, maybe doing something virtual or outside or postponing it were options. So we didn't ask every single employee, we just asked the representatives from the departments.
Because I'm wondering if all the employees are willing to attend if there was an outdoor event. Who would be willing to attend? That would be nice. I wouldn't want to cancel it, but with the pandemic, I mean, I go attend church every weekend, and that's indoors. That doesn't affect me. But there's people who are not willing to attend where there's a lot of other people. So, but in there, of merging it with the picnic event too. So that's another good option. Thank you, Sandra.
The option of merging it with the picnic, it's going to be very hot. So it's going to get interesting. And if you combine it with the picnic, you're going to have kids. It's going to be even more of an issue regarding social distancing. You can have social distance kids. I mean,
You can't do this.
we can try adults, but kids, it's not going to happen. So merging, I don't think it's a good option. It's either we have it or we cancel it. And you need an answer. What you're basically telling us is that you need an answer tonight. And so I'm going to go ahead and open the floor. Africa, Donna Carrasco, what's your opinion?
Mayor, I think that we should definitely hold the employee recognition event. I like Vice Mayor idea of getting the employees' feedback on it to see if they're willing to participate. But another thing that I was thinking about was, if for some reason employees are not willing to participate, can we use some of the money set aside for the event and give employees a nice little Christmas bonus as part of the recognition? Is that a possibility? I don't know.
Well, we can't call it a Christmas bonus, but we legally, but
Yeah.
I believe, yeah. I mean, we can look into that. I believe every year they get an adjustment dash Christmas bonus.
And maybe we can increase it this year instead of having the actual party, whatever we call that, also ceremony, whatever. Uh-huh.
It's called recognition.
Recognition event, yeah. Okay, so increase their annual, whatever we call it. I don't know, but that,
Compensate,
yeah.
Mm.
That's my opinion, but definitely proceed with the event.
Yeah, definitely. I agree with you. Thank you. Gloria, what's your opinion?
I think what Africa think it will be good to we had our event, but whatever you decided, I'm agreed on it. Whatever
Thank you.
everybody decided, I'm on.
Thank you, Gloria. Thank you. Mario, questions, comments, concerns?
Yes, Mayor. Since we're making a decision here, would that make us liable, responsible for something? I mean, if it gets to happen, to one of the employees for having this kind of ceremony? That's a question for Kay or whoever's there.
I think any event we're liable for any employee involvement. Even now as employees when they work, we're also liable. In the events we have also, our insurance, that's why we have liability insurance. Compared
Okay,
to private.
well, why are we making a decision for HR then? I mean, if we're okay, whatever they decide to do, like supervisors, if they decide to do it for their employees, because it's a special recognition for their employees. But I'm okay if whatever we do, I just want to be safe, on that part.
As long as we conduct it in a safe way, that would minimize the city's risk.
So your answer, Kay, is yes, we will be safe, but what we have to prove that we're taking all proper measures, we're separating the tables, we are recommending wearing masks, we're not consuming beverages like Kool-Aid and punch, and eating. Okay.
Yeah, we can look at the, what the recommendations are for restaurants at the moment for keeping the distance and just following the precautions that are recommended by the CDC and OSHA.
Yeah, and the thing is that this would be an event greater than 50 participants, I believe.
Yes, it would be a gathering more than 50. So at the moment, we would need to do it in a way that, the governor's executive order says that the cities have the ability to allow for more if precautions are taken.
On that note, if I may, last year we had from 200 to 250 attendees, just FYI.
Well, we can have the event at the soccer field. There's plenty of space there, or the baseball field, or, well, that's why we have a committee that takes care of events, and so it's time to brainstorm. So the consensus is to proceed with an event. If I heard you right, everyone, council.
Yes, Mayor.
Yes.
Matthias?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Claudia?
Yes,
Ponce?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So we
I-
definitely go ahead.
I have a question. When this going to be happen? I mean, what date? What?
December the 11th. December the
December.
11th.
Okay.
December 11.
Okay.
And we also need to look at the compensation, the yearly compensation, maybe increase it as an option if employees are not gonna. We need to take a survey, a quick survey. This survey needs to happen next week regarding who plans to attend and not attend.
if less than half of the employees plan to attend, then we cancel it. And that's, I mean, unless people want to go ahead, but I think if less than half of the employees are going to be attending, that should tell us we should not have the event, in my opinion.
Mayor, if I may, in regards to compensating the employees, the budget normally for this event is only about $18,000 to $20,000, which that of itself is not enough to give all employees a bonus out of that amount of money. So that would be something that we would need to look at separately.
I believe we set aside between 40 and 50,000 for that. That is my understanding.
Yes, I'm going off of the numbers that we have spent the past years on the event.
Yeah, but I believe there's a Tadeo.
No, the comment from Councilmember Luna Carrasco was to use the money that we use for the event. So that amount would have to be divided by the number of employees, which would be about $50 per employee. The yearly employee compensation that we do in December that's usually set aside by the finance department. And that's that amount that it's usually estimated in November, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I know. It's not part of your budget, Sandra, regarding the event. It's separate.
Correct.
Okay. Okay, so the consensus is to proceed and to have a survey, a quick survey, a very fast, quick survey, not a survey that's going to take 3 or 4 weeks. It's something that needs to be participated. People need to participate, and we really want to hear from the employees.
Okay.
Can we do that, Sandra?
Yes, we can do that.
Okay, so the consensus is to proceed to an outside event with the wearing masks and all CDC requirements, and let's see if how many employees are going to participate or are planning to attend. And we're also going to look at the compensation that's yearly given to the employees. And that's it.
Mayor, would you like this outside event to be in the evening?
Yes, definitely in the
okay.
evening.
All right, thank you so much.
And the weather should not be cold. I believe last year it was a little warm still. So the prior year also. So hopefully we'll have a warm winter.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Oops, here we go. We're going to go ahead and go under item number 2B, discussion and possible direction staff in all matters regarding order number 2020-17, an order of the Mayor and City Council of the City of San Luis, Arizona, to authorize the City of San Luis Police Department to receive funding for an impaired driver DUI alcohol enforcement and materials and supplies and STEP selective traffic enforcement projects by approving highway safety contracts 2021 AL-028 and 2021-PTS-059 between the City of San Luis, Arizona through the San Luis Police Department and Governor's Office of Highway Safety. Chief?
Thank you, Mayor, Vice Mayor, and Council. We're bringing this to you again, as we do every single year, and there really was not great change to this. We had solicited the Governor's Highway Safety Council again for funds this year. You'll notice that in the two awards that we received, one was $15,000, the other was $16,300. And as when it comes to the enforcement of both the DUI impaired driving and the speed enforcement details, those won't change over the next year of 2021. What did change a little bit was the amount of money that they gave out for different projects. As you remember, this past year, 2020, we were able to purchase 2 traffic control signs that we've been utilizing. I'm sure that you've seen them around town, moved into different areas as well. That changed this year simply because I think some of the funds were redirected into other projects, which may have included what the city received in the compensation due to COVID-19, and I think some of those funds were directed. So when it comes to what we received in the overtime budget from the state, that did not change at all. And so we're happy again that we're going to get a little over $30,000 with both of these two projects for overtime to assist our traffic and DUI enforcement. So we're bringing this to you tonight, and believe that you will go ahead and adopt the order to receive those funds from the state.
I'll make a comment. Chief, I believe this happens every year, and I think it also it actually helps us a lot. I think with the whole COVID situation, I think after everyone being at home, and I think we're going to have a very, very busy holidays. And the thing is, I think the consumption of alcoholic beverages is also going to increase. So I think it's wise for us to accept the money. And one comment regarding those cameras, those stationary radar dash speed devices that we're using, excellent. I've seen people hit brakes so much, especially down by the Walmart. And every time you go over, I believe 40, you start flashing police lights. Like, people hit their brakes so quick, so fast. Perfect. People would go 55 on that road. No, so stuff like this, what is it? Low impact, low cost, high impact. That's what it is. And the governor's providing this money for enforcement is a big plus. So I have no problem with that, Chief. Thank you.
Thank you.
Jose Ponce, questions, comments, or concerns?
No, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Vice Mayor, comments, questions, or concerns?
None, Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you. Matias, comments, questions, or concerns?
None, thank you.
Perfect. Africa Luna Carrasco, comments, questions, or concerns?
None, Mayor.
Thank you. Gloria Torres, comments, questions, or concerns?
No, Mayor.
Thank you. Mario Buchanan Jr., comments, questions, or concerns?
None, Mayor. Thank you.
Perfect. Consensus is proceed, Chief.
Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you so much. Okay, we're going to go with discussion and possible direction of staff in all matters regarding modifications to the current Parks and Recreation fee schedule. Mr. Louis Galaviz, please.
Good evening, Mayor, council members, administration. So tonight, I'd like to bring again, this is a work in progress and just recommendations for fees that we would like to recommend adjusting, and also some of the policies we have in place that we would recommend. So to start off, on the old fees, there is, and I'll go back to resolution number 770. In the old fees in Class A, where it says city co-sponsored groups or City of San Luis agencies, the department would like to recommend that all those listed, which is from A to U, that we cancel all those, and that instead of making a list, that we use current IGAs, that we do have current IGAs with some of these agencies already existing. And this would be because of insurance, liability, scheduling, and project activities. And have that, again, when brought to, for facility fees or rentals, that the administrator, the city administrator, and the Parks and Rec director would review case by case. And of course, mayor and council could always give us direction on different events that would be fundraisers or beneficial for the community that we would waive the fees. So there would be that flexibility. And like I mentioned before, there's a lot of groups here that don't even exist anymore. And the groups, and many of the groups that are here, they have a current IGA already with the city. So we could actually, if we wanted to, we could look at the IGA and maybe make modifications. Or like I mentioned, we could, it would be a case by case where the city administrator, myself, and with the direction of mayor and council, if needed, provide that benefit to those groups in the community that are, again, helping or supporting the community in one way or another. Any questions? That's the recommendation, Mayor.
I didn't know this list existed.
Yeah, neither did I.
Surprise, surprise, and no, we should go based on I believe case by case, and yeah, it must be nice. No, I think it's going to be. I agree with you. I think we should start fresh because media, yeah, Yumasan, Bajo el Sol, Sin Fronteras, San Luis, whoa, that's everyone. That's basically everyone in the city.
And that would be that all of these groups are currently, they're all exempt from rental fees.
No. So times are tough, and because of COVID, trust me, we 6 months from now, we are going to be hurting.
And again, Mayor, in no way are we not supporting these agencies, but again, it would be a case-by-case basis.
Yeah, and we're not saying we're closing doors, but we're being proactive and like everything else.
Correct.
And not a lot of people are giving things for free. And the thing is, we just have to. It's not about increasing fees; it's about how can we help each other.
Correct, Mayor.
So I agree. So I'm going to go ahead and open the floor to any further discussion. Jose Ponce, comments, questions, or concerns?
No, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Vice Mayor, comments, questions, or concerns?
Yes, Mayor, I have a question. Louis, as far as the nonprofit, you mentioned what kind of liability insurance would a nonprofit need?
And that's something that we've worked with legal and risk, and it's usually the $1 million coverage that our risk pool usually requires or requests. So that would be what they would want to see as coverage, and especially now moving into this uncertainty of the pandemic.
Would you know, would any insurance company provide that kind of coverage?
As a matter of fact, what we have done is we've referred them to local companies, and it's anywhere from, it really all depends on the event, the venue, attendance. There is a program, the TULIP, thank you. TULIP program that the city risk provides. But there's also local insurance groups that can provide this insurance. I've seen it from $50 to $400. It just depends on the complexity of the event and what it entails.
Okay, thank you, Louis.
You're welcome.
For clarification, no agency or no insurance is covering for COVID liability.
And I'm glad you bring that up, Mayor, because what we're going to be doing is we will have we've worked with legal on a COVID, I guess, waiver or of some sort that, of course, we know that how those work, but that will be in place for that. And of course, we will add that you have to follow all health department, city, governors, health restrictions or regulations that are in place at the time. So that would mean the limited attendance if that is still in place.
Yeah, and I believe, Louis, they also have to provide a list of protocols and procedures that they're going to follow. It's not just about, we want the event, we're going to have a tournament this weekend, And, yeah, I want the park open.
Correct, Mayor. They would have to have, you know, pandemic-type procedures on how they will keep, you know, keeping the cleaning, sanitizing before and after. So for now, it's going to be a little bit more what's going to be requested. But hopefully, in the future, this will work its way out and go back to some kind of normal.
Yeah, and the thing is, they have to sign a disclaimer, which makes the city non-liable in regards to the COVID situation, and that's any event that's greater than 50, I believe 50 individuals, and they have to have a protocol established. They can't just turn in something that's in handwriting. No, there has to be a protocol, and this protocol has to follow CDC guidelines. So it is possible to have an event. It is very possible, but we can't just open the event to 300 people or 400 people because there is restrictions. There is the mandate from the governor, and there is our local mandate also that actually was done to protect the population and our residents. So, I concur, Louis. I concur. I'm going to go ahead and open the floor. Where we're at here, Vice Mayor, were you done?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. Matia Rosales,
No concerns, Mayor.
thank you. Africa Luna Carrasco,
No questions, Mayor.
thank you. Gloria Torres, questions, concerns?
No, no questions, Mayor.
Thank you. Mario Buchanan Jr.,
No, Mayor, no questions.
thank you. So, looks good, Louis.
Okay, well, that was just part A. We still got a couple other parts to go. I hope you had dinner.
Oh, yes, we did. I did.
No, I'm just kidding. I'll go through this as quickly as possible. Class B and Class C, those are just definitions and they stay the same. When it comes to facilities, we have updated, and you should have that in your packets, the new fees. And so, you know, we've had recommendations to rent out the gym, so we have included that into the fees. So you can look through, and those are per hour, and these are more private events, not when you're just going to use the basketball court and those kind of things specifically. So those are in place. And before I get started a little bit more with the fees, I just want to kind of let you know that, you know, we reviewed these fees, we compared them to other cities. We wanted to make sure it's a fair amount. Most of these, it's just cost that we incur with the staff or the electrical or water, restroom, cleaning, and those kind of things. So as we go through, I don't want to go through each one, but if you do have something, Mayor or Council, please let me know. The staff attendant, one of the things that, you know, we've done in the past and we're recommending that we change is before, when we had softball tournaments or somebody rented the gym or the cultural center, we handed them the keys and we left. And so we're now asking that there be a staff attendant in place. Again, because of the liability, the insurance, and the procedures to make sure those are followed. And so that's a recommendation that's a change from the previous years. I don't know, Mayor, if you or Council had any concerns on that matter.
Louis, I recommend we have some staff there. And the thing is, if someone's going to have an event and they submit the paperwork that this is the protocol they're going to follow, they should be also with that protocol, a way for them to enforce it. Not the city to enforce it, but them to enforce it. Whoever is running that particular event. If, for example, the wearing a mask is still a mandate, and so we're not, except for, I believe, if you're playing sports, there is exclusion for those actively participating in the sport, but not for those who are sitting on the bench and stuff like that. So, I believe I highly support. We have a staff member there, and that's just not only we're making sure that people are following what they said they were going to do, and we want to create a healthy family environment for our community, and we want to make sure that everyone's safe. So I agree with you. And regarding the fees, they don't look high. I think compared to what other facilities are being charged in other cities, I think we're very, very, very competitive in my opinion. Less than, and so I think we're doing fine.
So,
I'm going to go ahead and open the floor. Louis, anything else before I open the floor?
no, go ahead, Mayor. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Jose Ponce?
Well, is this everything related to the parks, Louis?
This is related to softball fields when they do tournaments, but really more, this focuses on when they utilize the gym or the cultural center for special events. That's really what this focuses on.
Okay, well, okay, that's fine. I have no questions now, Mayor.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. Vice Mayor, comments, questions, concerns?
None, Mayor.
Thank you. Matias Rosales, comments, questions, concerns?
None. I like it. We're cleaning it up, making it more easier. So thank you, staff.
Thank you, staff. Exactly. Africa Luna Carrasco, comments, questions, concerns?
No, Mayor, just to comment that I like where Louis and his staff are going with this.
Hello? No. Gloria, comments, questions, and concerns?
No, Mayor, no question.
Thank you. Mario Jr.?
None, Mayor.
Thank you. Louis, proceed.
Okay, the next one, the turf field and tennis courts, we didn't have that, so we kind of added that, and we added a fee, which was minimal. Again, all our areas are open for the public. And this is not that we're charging for people to use our facilities. This is if someone comes into our facility and says, I specifically want to use the tennis courts from 2 o'clock to 5 o'clock and nobody else, then there would be a fee. The turf field, same situation. And so I just want to make that clear that we're not charging for all our facilities. We're just charging when individuals or residents or local businesses want to reserve it specifically for a time frame and a date. So I just want to make that clear to everyone. The next is Cesar Chavez Cultural Center. There's a facilities rental and conditions that we put together. This is going through, it's kind of lengthy in a sense of the rental, it regards the alcohol, how you serve it, the insurance, the vendors, what's available, the hazards, the fees associated with the decoration and music that is going to be the renter's responsibility, not ours, to give us a schedule when they're going to be there, what time, when they're going to leave, not just, hey, I think I need to be there a couple hours before. Cancellation, what's prohibited, what city equipment is available, storage and how that works, staff and payment and how that works. Again, one of the things that we're going to add to this form, like I mentioned earlier, and to all of our forms is going to be that COVID form. The fees have gone up than previous, and there's a nonprofit rate, and there's also just a regular rate. There's a deposit that's gone up because we've had some issues in the past with damage, which the deposit is returnable. There's a cleanup fee if they want to just leave it the way it is. Before, they used to have to, we'd ask them to clean up, but that sometimes always didn't happen, and our staff ended up doing it. So they have that option for that. We have table and rental fees, table and chair rentals, excuse me. That we put a little bit higher just because we don't want to compete with our local businesses that have that service. But again, when this comes to, and this, we're talking private events, but when this comes to fundraisers or activities that benefit the community, of course, this can be all waived, you know, a case-by-case situation. Any, I'll stop there for thought.
This is interesting to share, $2 per share. Wow. 400 people, you throw in $2 a share, that's an extra $800.
Yeah, you would be, a chair nowadays costs $40, $50, and if one gets damaged, which we have had, we've had to replace that, it starts adding up with the usage. Again, we're not trying to promote our tables and chairs because of the liability that it comes with, but I am open to any recommendations that mayor and council have if they would like to see something different with this or any other fees that I present tonight.
No, I think it's fair. I think it's fair. No, it's just something we have to get used to, and it's going to be on a I mean, it's going to be evaluated. If it's a nonprofit, if it's going to be for a charity, if it's going to be, but if it's going to be just an event, I want to have the culture center for an event, then I mean, it's still relatively inexpensive compared to other facilities.
Compared to around the areas, it would still be the less expensive.
Yeah, exactly so. And that's why, and we need to be competitive, but at the same time, we need to make sure that any damage or that gets done to our equipment and our restrooms, and make sure that it's covered. So, no, I agree. I have no problem. Good job, Louis. Good job, staff. So I'm going to go ahead and open the floor, so we're open for debate, guys. So if you think we're overcharging, please let us know, or we're not charging enough, we need to reassess. Let us know. Was it Ponce? Questions, comments, or concerns?
Mayor, let me ask something. This is not indefinite. I mean, can this be, I mean, modified down the road? I mean, if this plan doesn't work, can we, let's say 3 months from now, it doesn't work, I mean, can we modify this plan?
Well, Jose, this is years in the making. We've been gradually trying to assess, but we can change a lot of things. But
no, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
No, this is the other question. I mean, simple question. I mean, can this down the road, and this is 3-6 months down the road, can this be changed? I mean, legally, or this want to be forever?
No, yeah.
Louis.
Speaking with, thank you, Mayor. Excuse me. You know, speaking with legal, this is a document. You know, it's a live document. So, in the sense of it could, if there is any concern with any of the fees in the future, or any of the policies that are set in place, we can always come back to council and adjust those if you wish.
Thank you.
Yes. Thank you, Jose. Vice Mayor, comment, questions, or concerns?
No questions, Mayor.
Thank you. Matia Rosales, yes?
None, Mayor. I'm good.
Thank you. Africa Lona Carrasco, comments, questions, or concerns?
No, just to clarify, are we still going to be the lowest, the city with the lowest rates, Louis?
Yes.
That's what you said? Okay.
Yes.
No, I'm fine, Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you. Gloria Torres, comments, questions, or concerns?
No, Mayor, no questions.
Mario Buchanan Jr.?
No, Mayor, no question.
Good. So, Louis, proceed.
All right. The next one is the pool. That really doesn't change at all. That's been that way for years. And I just wanted to mention that to mayor and council that these fees, the last time they were adjusted was 2007. So we're just, like the mayor mentioned, this has been something that we've been working on, so. The alcohol permits, one thing I do want to point out on the list is we do have, and this is something I wanted direction from mayor and council, because a lot of cities, they go back and forth. Some have it, some don't, is a resident and a non-resident, which you know, Somerton does not have one that I'm aware of. Well, no, they do have one, and so does Yuma. Yuma, Somerton's more lenient, I believe, in that area, but Yuma is very, you know, they really watch out for that. They ask for, you have to have proof that you're a resident of Yuma to get that fee, and it's usually anywhere from $10 to $20 more for non-residents if you play a sports activity or any programs that they have. Some of them, not all activities that all cities have a resident, non-resident rate. But again, that is something that, you know, I would like some direction from mayor and council. You know, San Luis is known for its sports activities, and we have individuals coming from the Mexico side. We have groups from Somerton, Yuma. So I would just look for direction from mayor and council on your thoughts. As you can see, there is a difference from $10 to $15 to $20 in some of the events. I mean, some of the fees that we offer. So I would like your feedback.
Well, even if we charge them a difference, it's still cheaper than their facilities at home.
Yes, yes. We are, you know, we do a softball tournament, I believe, anywhere from $250 to $450. In Yuma, I think it's $600 to $800. So, yeah, so we're very comparable, and that is one of the reasons that we have a lot of teams from out of San Luis, from other communities, participate in our leagues.
Yeah, I think it should be that way. I mean, there should be a difference, and I know the city of Somerton is lenient, but they do have the option to overcharge or actually charge a non-resident fee, and I think our residents should get priority. And people know that there's a lot of sports that occur here in San Luis, and they're going to come back. But I agree. I have no problem with the difference, and it's not big of a difference either. So I'm going to go and open the floor. Jose Ponce.
No question, Mayor.
Thank you. Vice Mayor, comments, questions, or concerns?
I'm okay with that, Louis. I like it. It's a good deal for San Luis. Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you, Vice Mayor. Matias Rosales.
I'm okay with it, Mayor.
Perfect. Africa Luna Carrasco.
Yes, Mayor, I agree that there should be a non-resident fee.
Perfect. Gloria Torres, comments, questions, or concerns?
No, Mayor, no questions.
Thank you. Mario Buchanan Jr., comments, questions, or concerns?
No, Mayor, we're good. Thanks.
Good. Perfect. So Louis, consensus is to proceed, please.
Okay, next item. Well, next on the list. Tents and equipment, we've taken that completely out. We don't allow that for rentals. That was something that risk and legal, because it is city equipment. Not saying that we cannot partner with different agencies and groups in the community. They're just not available for rental. So I wanted to get your, that is our recommendation. We wanted to have mayor and council provide some direction on that.
So we cannot rent it, but we can provide them.
Yes, Yes, I think, when we do when there's fundraisers, again, when there's community events that are beneficial for our residents, that's usually been the case. We haven't had anybody's, it's been very rare. For example, this past summer, we worked with the DES, and they borrowed about 15 or so of our shade structures. We did not charge them the fee. That was something, a partnership. We've done that with drive-up food distribution and those type of events. And I think I don't think we have an issue with that because it is a benefit to our residents. And again, it would be a case-by-case situation that the city administrator, myself, or mayor and council can direct with that. So that is my recommendation.
No, that's good. I have no problem. As long as we still have it available, and I just want to make sure because there are some events that, for example, are nonprofit or small nonprofits. Sometimes they need the assistance if they don't have the money or resources to provide the shading, and something that we provide. I understand the liability because it's equipment, but everything we do is equipment, basically.
Yeah.
If you come and play in our facilities, it's our equipment. So there's always some factor of liability, and so no, that's good. That's a good option. I have no problem with that. I'm going to go ahead and open the floor. Jose Ponce, comments, questions, or concerns?
No, sir. Thank you.
Perfect. Vice Mayor, comments, questions, or concerns?
None, Mayor.
Thank you. Let's see here. Matia Rosales, comments, questions, or concerns?
Good to go, Mayor.
Good to go. Perfect. Rafi Carolina Carrasco, comments, questions, or concerns?
None, Mayor.
Perfect. Gloria Torres, comments, questions, or concerns?
Yes, Louis, what happened when they used the equipment and it was being damaged? Like a can or?
And one of the things that we've done, Councilman Torres, is when we've done these agreements, that if there's any damage or the equipment comes back broken, that we request whoever borrowed it, that they replace it or fix it. So that's kind of what we've kind of worked with the different agencies, and that's kind of the agreement we've had with them.
Oh, okay, they were good. Thank you.
Mario, thank you, Gloria. Mario Buchanan Jr., comments, questions, or concerns?
None, Mayor.
Thank you. Let's see here. Proceed, Louis.
Next, we did have a section on spaces for rental booths. This is for our special events. This is for a 10 by 10 or 10 by 20 space that we usually offer for our vendors. And we basically just put a range anywhere from $25 to $200 depending on the event. Because some events we don't charge anything at all. We just want vendors there. But for example, 4th of July and Founders, people are, they want to be there because they know that they're going to have thousands and thousands of people attending that event. So that would be something that would benefit the city. We feel comfortable charging that fee because we know that those nonprofits or local vendors will more than cover the cost of that fee and much more.
I agree, Louis. I have no problem. I'm going to open the floor. Jose Ponce, comments, questions, or concerns?
No, sir. Thank you.
Vice Mayor, comments, questions, or concerns?
None, Mayor.
Thank you. Matia Rosales, comments, questions, or concerns?
None, Mayor.
Thank you. Rafi Carolina Carrasco, comments, questions, or concerns?
None, Mayor. Thank you.
Gloria Torres, comments, questions, or concerns?
Oh, Mayor, thank you.
Mario Buchanan Jr., comments, questions, or concerns?
None, Mayor.
Thank you. Proceed, Louis.
All right, we're almost done with this part. One of the things that we want to bring up, and this is going to go up considerably, and I'll explain why, is the field usage of the fields. That's going to stay the same. We have a lot of people that want to use our fields, especially with the new park coming along, and we want to offer that facility for various travel teams and schools and just different groups. But what we do want to increase that we've been basically losing money on is lining the fields. A soccer field, we used to just charge, I believe it was $10 to line the fields. Well, the paint itself costs more than $10. And a 5-gallon bucket usually will do one soccer field. That gallon of bucket usually is anywhere from $50 to $60. And that's not including the labor of our park staff going out there and marking it and getting that done. So what we've done is I've kind of itemized the lining of the field and working with the park staff and the cost. That's our cost per field when we do those certain fields. And so that's what I would like to implement instead of the $10 per field.
I agree, Louis. We've been doing a lot of things, and the thing is, we're really we need to be realistic here because costs of everything gone up, especially when you say about the paint and everything like that. I knew that for a fact that $10 does not cover much. Not even the hour for that employer to be there.
Correct.
So I have no problem. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and open the floor. Jose Ponce?
No questions, sir.
Thank you. Vice Mayor, comments, questions, and concerns?
Yes, Mayor. Louis, in regards to lining the fields, this fee, where it says, say, soccer field, $80, that's a one-time fee?
Yes, that's what it costs for one time to line the soccer field, yes. Now,
So-
if I
Go
can
ahead.
explain something, Vice Mayor, thank you. What we've done with some of the leagues is that we give them an option, or we try to work with them that we line the soccer field, for example, the soccer league, the men's and the youth soccer league. What we do is we mark the field every other week for them, and that seems to be lowers their cost, and it works for them. So we try to work with them on what would, for them to still utilize it and lower the cost. So that's some of the things that we've done to help in that aspect. But quite frankly, the $80, that's what it costs every time to line a regulation soccer field.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
So if they want fresh paint, they have to pay another $80. Whereas if they pay as a group, two different groups say we're going to line the field, and the second group that comes here, that comes in a couple of days later, nope, the field is fine, and so they don't have to pay the $80.
Right.
I just want to make sure that if the field is going to be lined, then we charge, not because it's already lined, so you have to pay for it.
Right, no. This would be if we actually have to go out there and physically use our supplies of paint and labor of one of our employees. Yes, you are correct, Mayor.
You realize this is probably going to be the one that's going to cause the biggest headaches. You realize this?
Yes, we know. But we just so Mayor and Council are aware, we have been talking to the different groups and letting them know. This has been a conversation with them about more than 6 months
Okay,
about preparing them for this change.
Okay, good. Yeah, because I know it was getting expensive. So no, that's fine. I have no problem. I'm going to go ahead and open the floor. Vice Mayor, you're done?
Yes, Mayor.
Matías Rosales?
None, Mayor.
Okay, good.
Africa Luna Carrasco?
None, Mayor.
Thank you. Gloria Torres, any comments, questions, or concerns?
No, Mayor, no comment.
Okay, good. Marty Buchanan Jr., comments, questions, or concerns?
Yes, Mayor. Louis,
Yes.
did we have a committee for this kind of decisions, prices and stuff like that, or just like from you?
This is, again, this is our cost. If you would like to lower it, we can, but then that means that our expenses, we don't cover our costs. So I didn't go out to the community and ask. I went.
Did you have a committee making these decisions or no? Because you're saying that you've been working for this almost 6 months. So where did we get this information?
We've been looking at other fees from other cities, and we've internally, staff-wise, talking to the park staff and the recreation staff on the recommendations. And then we haven't been confirming, but informing those groups that will be affected by this. And so far, we didn't get any, I can't say pro or con, just that we've explained to them, these are our costs. Now, if mayor and council would like to have me go in a different direction, I can do that.
Okay, no further questions. I was wondering if you had some type of help, people deciding on this also. Okay, we're good.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mario. That's a good question. If there's some more comments, questions, or concerns, the consensus was to proceed. Lou?
And that was, I have the youth center, but that's just minor. It's one of the rooms that we're using. I don't know if there's any questions on that. That's the last item. We didn't have that available. We do, because we do have smaller groups that want to use the youth center. And so we did a small fee for that one room. And that's what we've done in the past, but wasn't officially on the fees, so I added that.
Okay, good. I have no problem with that. Because you discussed it, I have to open the floor now. So, Jose Ponce, questions regarding the multipurpose room?
Yeah, Louis, is this a $10 fee? Is it per hour?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Vice Mayor, comments, questions, concerns?
None, Mayor.
Okay, good. Let's see here. Okay, good. Matias, questions, comments, or concerns?
None, sir.
Okay, good. Africa Luna Carrasco, questions, comments, or concerns?
No, sir.
Okay, and Gloria Torres, comments, questions, or concerns?
No, Mayor.
Okay, good. Marty Buchanan Jr., questions, comments, or concerns?
No, Mayor, none. Thanks.
Okay, Louis, go ahead and proceed.
Mayor, so the next step, and then I'll have legal help me on this to make sure it's correct, is we will post this for 60 days.
Yes, and fees need to be posted for 60 days, put the public on notice.
So at that time, we will work with legal on posting this. We will make those little modifications that just to make sure that, like private events, so everybody understands, but the fees will stay the same. This will give a time for the community to respond if they have any concerns. And then when we finish that 60 days, it will come back.
Yes, then it'll just come back as an item for action.
Yeah, understood.
Okay. Well, that's all I have on this item.
Okay. That's all? Okay, I just want to make sure.
Thank you.
Good job, Louis. And thanks, staff also. And thank you, council also. Okay, we are now going to go and finally, I get 3 items.
kept skipping them and giving them to everyone else. So I think, no, good. Item number 2F, discussion and possible direction of staff in all matters regarding a walking path at Cesar Chavez Boulevard and 7th Street and the exercise equipment along U Street, Utarosigi Street. The reason I brought this is 3 to 4 years ago, we talked about having equipment, exercise equipment in U Street, and U Street has been recognized as a very active street to do exercise because of the distance, because of the area. And to add it also, we have a vacant land that just has been raked on Cesar Chavez and 7th Street for the longest time. We talked about that maybe 3 or 4 years ago, that it was not going to be very expensive, a walking path, that we have the asphalt to actually do it. And for whatever reason, we have either dropped the ball, or I know there's the pandemic, but there's things we can do that doesn't cost a lot of money, and actually we can do a lot of impact. I really like to see what happens on U Street happen. It's land that is not being used. And for someone to say, oh, we're going to expand Cesar Chavez, yeah, once we get those $33 million we need. But there's land we can use. And plus, thank you for cleaning that area, Louis, because it really looked bad. Going back to what the vice mayor did maybe 3 or 4 years ago regarding our entrances, that entrance going through, we have the one coming from Highway 95 or whatever, Roadway 95, but then we also have the one coming from Cesar Chavez Boulevard. And it really looks, when it's clean, the palm trees are clean. And the reason I'm doing that is because residents around where I live says everyone's getting something, and what's happening with this, we're being forgotten. And so it's something that can be done. It's something that's not that expensive. I believe we still have the asphalt we can do. It's a simple, walking path. Somerton's been doing it forever. And so, and I think we should look at it. But the exercise equipment, we discussed it, I believe, 2 budgets ago. And on U Street, we were going to look into exercise equipment like Tucson has, like Yuma has, something like that, that actually to motivate people to go out and actually exercise. We're here to promote healthy lifestyles and exercise in the evenings, and walking paths are good. So that was my spill on that, because people have been asking, and also some people were complaining about the unkept area on U Street before. But I know it's a COVID situation, I know, but we need to look at that also. Walking past, people walk and actually see a lot more things. So that's the reason I brought it up. Louis?
Okay, Mayor. No, and Mayor, I understand your concern, and that is something that we have been working on. I have a picture here on the screen of the before and after of that area. But there's more, I guess, to it that we need to maybe update or inform Mayor and Council on the process of these areas. These are water user and BLM? Oh, water user properties. And I have been working with the Public Works Director and the Planning and Zoning, and there is restrictions for us. And maybe I'll call up the Public Works Director. He's the one been communicating with them and working on that, and maybe he can explain a little bit more.
Good evening, Mayor, Vice Mayor, council members. Like Louis mentioned, this property is controlled by the Yuma County water users. I've been talking with them for the last couple of weeks on doing an agreement that will allow us to install a multi-use pathway along all their canal right-of-ways and all the property that they control, rather than doing a license every time we do a project. This agreement will cover the whole city and their property that they control. So they'll stipulate some requirements for us to follow, and it will make it easier for us to do any improvements on their properties. So council should be seeing an agreement draft within the next couple of weeks.
Good evening, Mayor, Vice Mayor, members of council, so Eulogio Vera. One of the things that I want to add also is, Jose's working on this now just because we haven't been able to finish our lands, pathways and trails master plan, which was the original request that Yuma County Water Users had made to the city about, I would say about four or 5 years ago. So that was, I think, the reason that project stopped from the park side back then. They wouldn't give us a permission to do any of it. They wanted the city to have a citywide master plan. So since then, I think it's a good route, and it's a good thing that we're working with them now in this different way, with what just Jose just described. But that was sort of the reason, from my recollection, why it wasn't done before. On this specific area along Cesar Chavez Boulevard between 7th and 8th Avenue. I just wanted, on U Street, on the other hand, I have also a little bit of background. I don't recall why we didn't, whether we had it in the budget or not to buy the equipment, but I do recall looking from the public works side, looking at where the irrigation meters could go. I remember Manuel doing some research as far as where we would be connecting to the water for trees and stuff like that. I even remember that we looked into the pricing of equipment, but I don't recall whether we have it in the budget or not. So I think we can go back and go through that research and try to get some of that equipment in there.
Yeah, this happened 2 or 3 years ago, and the thing is, and it just fell through the cracks. And the thing is, I think we can do it. I think it's not gonna cost us. We're not building monuments, guys. Okay, simple walking paths, and I understand that. And the thing is, regarding to U Street, let's look into the equipment, and let's not buy the $120,000 equipment that's out there. Let's look at what other cities are doing. I've seen some simple wood and that are equipment that are certified. I just want to make sure we have to make sure they're safe. But I just want to make sure we don't drop the ball. In regards to pathways that the Water Association required us to do, that was 3 or 4 years ago. And the thing is, and it was just dropped. We cannot afford, in order for us to promote more green area, in order for us to promote a more healthy environment, healthy pathways for our community, we have to do it now. And the thing is, that's good that you're working on something we can actually start doing. But let me be very clear. I want this done. We need this done. No longer can we wait 3, 4 more years. And if the Water Association is giving us trouble because of this, well, let's pressure them. Let's actually work with them directly. Do I have to meet with them directly and find exactly what's going on? Or do I have to get someone involved also? No more. It's been 3 years now, guys. And the thing is, these small projects have a big impact in our community. And the thing is, we do these small projects, people continue talking about the pathways in Somerton. But yet San Luis is lacking them. So let's step it up, guys. It doesn't cost us millions of dollars to do this stuff. So I'm asking each individual department, let's do this. It's doable. Let's make an impact in regards to the pathways. It's promote healthy lifestyles, and we can do it, guys. We really can. And if you bring it, well, we didn't budget 1.2 million. It shouldn't cost us 1.2 million. Okay, Tadeo? Okay, so.
Got it.
Okay, so thank you, guys. Appreciate it. Louis?
Thank you.
And just in closing, Mayor, Mr. Guzman is finalizing the master plan for the park, the pathways, and the bike route. And that is going to be a big push for us to move forward. On your screen before, we've had several designs for pathways. So I've been working with Mr. Vera, and we're we're ready, you know, when we're able to move forward. But that has been one of the things that has been a challenge. So we're hoping that now, Mr. Guzman, that we have something that will be presented to you, and you will start seeing those different pathways in the city.
It's going to make a big impact. Trust me. Those pathways are going to make a lot more impact than when we fix or resurface the roads. I can tell you
Definitely
right
agree.
now. So it's very important. So I'm going to go ahead and open the floor for discussion, guys. So, Mr. Ponce?
No questions, sir.
Good. Vice Mayor?
Mayor, I want to congratulate you. That's an awesome project. But most of all, thank you for taking advantage of this opportunity. Yes, you're the mayor. You can put anything on the agenda. So can Tadeo, but I really, really am so pleased that council can also put items on the agenda. Please, council members, take advantage of this opportunity whenever it's your turn. Like the mayor, you know, places, I think this is a great idea. So I just want to encourage everybody else to take advantage when it's their turn to present an item.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. Matia Rosales?
So say thank you, Mayor, for bringing this back up. Like you said, I know we put it on there about 3-4 years ago. I think it's one of the items that I put on there back then too. I think 3 years ago, if I recall, we didn't do it on 7th and Cesar Chavez because we ended up doing the corner parking lot over there on back then Juan Sanchez and Main Street. But I think it slipped through the cracks. So I'm glad that you brought this back up because we do need to do that. That Cesar Chavez parcel between 6th and 8th, I think that sidewalk is too dangerous for the pedestrians when they're walking there with all that high traffic going east and west. So doing those walking paths like the design that Louis showed would be a lot safer for our residents as kids from the high school, the junior high that are walking there during the days and then for the afternoons. So I'm glad you guys are working on that. I know I've met with Mr. Davis over at the Water Association several times and he's for it as long as it doesn't cost them a penny. So I'm glad that Guzman is working with them and getting that IGA that, you know, we started talking about, I think 2 years ago in Hermosillo at one of the Arizona Sonora meetings. So I'm for it. And I know that was one of the requirements he wanted. He wanted one of those master walking paths to be done. We also discussed in the future connecting an overpass by the library to connect County 22nd to 6th. So that's another big project on there for Mr. Davis to work with that IGA, hopefully. So thank you, staff, and hopefully we get this done and put that equipment on with the Guastiki as well and see people enjoy the afternoons. So thank you, Mayor, for putting this on.
Oh, thank you. Gracias. Figueroa Carrasco?
Love the project, Mayor, and just for the record, it's been way more than 4 years that this item has been placed on the table to look at. So yeah, somebody dropped the ball and I'm so glad that you brought it up. Thank you.
Thank you, Africa. Gloria Torres, comments, questions, or concerns?
No, Mayor, no comments.
Thank you. Marty Buchanan Jr., comments, questions, or concerns?
I agree with you, Mayor. Very much needed project. Let's get it going. I mean, whatever we can do, let's bring the money in too.
Yeah. I just want to make sure that it doesn't take 2 or 3 more years to actually talk about it again. Let's make it done. Let's make it happen, guys. Let's really make it happen because especially now with people with the stay at home, the mandate, and it's still affecting people. And the thing is now is you can go out and exercise. It's very important. It's healthy for you. So no, that's good. Thank you. So Louis?
Hey, can I add one more thing to Louis? a little bit of carrilla. I saw the pictures, and obviously I see it when I drive by. I see how you guys leveled out the dirt, cleaned it up, took out all the weeds, but they forgot to weed whack the sidewalk to the street. So maybe, you know, gardeners got there with a weed whacker between the cracks, all nice and clean, and then you got the sidewalk full of weeds. So yeah, so they forgot that part. Like the tractor couldn't go on there.
All right, I'll remind them. But in closing, Mayor, just on this topic, you know, I think in previous meetings you've heard Jenny Torres and Elogio Vera talk about the Cesar Chavez Boulevard. So with this master plan and with what the conceptuals that we've been showing you, I've been sharing that with them. So when that comes into play, or when that comes into fruition, we have an idea of how we would want Cesar Chavez Boulevard to be able to be pedestrian friendly, bike friendly throughout, from Main all the way to E.
Okay. Some caution, Louis, on that one. We can actually do this project, or we can kill the project by adding it to the major plan and actually trying to make it bigger than it is. I understand the concept, but we need to get this done, Louis.
Oh, no, I'm taking, this will be phases. So we'll start from this section and work our way out.
Good. I just want to make sure.
Yes.
Because,
yeah, we're not waiting for that project.
and we're not going to wait 2 or 3 more years.
Right.
We're not.
Correct.
Okay, so please, okay? Thank you. Let's see here. Item number 2E, discussion and possible action staff and all matters regarding the brick walls at retention basins within the city of San Luis. We started doing this 2 years ago, and retention balls are falling apart. I'm seeing hose, I'm seeing barbed wire. I'm seeing the reed bar. Perfect example, right next to my house, the part of the wall has moved about an inch gap. If I push it, it will fall. And on my neighbor's side, there's humongous holes that have been getting bigger because of the water, and not just those, but there's also basins. We cannot stop doing maintenance on those basins, especially those walls. Those walls can last, let's see here, 20 years if we build them correctly. But if we neglect to fix them, we're looking for trouble. Because I can tell you right now, that piece of wall is going to fall over my transformer, and I'm going to be without power for a couple of weeks. And is the city going to be liable for that? Not just as me, as mayor, but also as a resident, any other resident. We need to look at possible liabilities. And the thing is, we can fix this. It's not going to cost us a fortune. And let's look at the walls that are worse that need to be replaced now. And we need to be proactive about this. I mean, that's why, and that's why I had to bring it up, because the wall keeps moving and opening. And the thing is, it's going to fall over. And that's just not that wall, but there's other walls that we need to look at. And it really looks really bad. Yeah, we can cover the graffiti, but we can't do much about the humongous holes and the reed bar, which creates a liability for any kid playing in that area. So if built properly, they can last 15 years or more. But these walls are more than 15, 20 years from now. So let's look at the worst ones, fix them in sections. And so that's the reason I brought it up, because this is another project that has been discussed in the past. And for whatever reason, I know for budget constraints, but we need not to stop doing maintenance on our parks, because they're not parks, they're basins. But it's really nice when the walls are solid, they're not full of holes. Louis.
Mayor, council members, myself and the park supervisor went out and identified the priority walls. And so we wanted to share with you some pictures. This is on Sinoff. This wall here, and just to give you a little bit of background, what happened is 10 years ago or when, is sprinklers were set next to the wall. And so that's why you see the lines and the decay and the erosion on these. So, in the past couple of years, what we've been doing is we've been adjusting and moving our sprinklers out anywhere from 3 2, 3, 4, 5 feet away from the block wall. So this won't ever happen again when we replace and redo these walls. This wall here is, as you can see, it's about 200 feet of block wall that needs to be replaced. At the cost that we estimated that was given to us, about $45 a linear foot, which is 6 feet tall. That's what they're charging. This wall to replace would be about $9,000. See the next one. Again, this one at Kennedy, Las Fuentes subdivision. The whole wall, again, as you can see on the wall, the sprinkler systems, they're not like that anymore. The sprinklers do not hit that wall. That's why they look so dry now, and they don't have that older mark that you see some of the walls have. But if we would do that entire wall, that comes out to $17,730. If we do the partial, which is, unfortunately, some residents, there's a partial opening. They've actually used something to knock down the the block, and probably not that hard because it's been probably worn out. And so they've been knocking that wall down at the top picture. And so that open space, they use it to access, yes, that's perfect. Of course, the commercial on the other side on Cesar Chavez Boulevard. So those are some of the things that we run into. Next slide, please. Next page, yeah. This one is American Guerrero. The entire wall is damaged, like you mentioned, Mayor. And we need to replace them, and that would be about $15,000. And these are just numbers that on the projected because of the estimate that was given. Kennedy is 200 feet of wall that would need to replace, and that's about $9,000. And then the last one is Liberty, which is about 90 feet of wall, and that's about $4,000. So what I can do is I will work with administration and finance on developing a plan of action for these and start seeing how we can implement them in the annual budget. If not currently, in the future budgets to address those. If you'd like, I will review it with admin, and if there's a priority, we can look at that and move forward.
I think we should look into it because it's one thing, like, for example, same thing with the streets. Well, for many, many years, the streets were like, oh, it's going to cost us too much, it's going to cost us too much. And the thing is, once we start doing them, it's going to make a difference. Now, this is where people go and gather. This is where people have their little carne asadas, or they have their birthday parties. That picture right there, there's a bunch of holes throughout that wall. And so this is what people see. People who come from outside, this is what they see. And this is the image of the city. And so we need to make sure that we invest in these images. We need to make sure that there's no graffiti, that those yellow swings stay yellow, not a dull brown also. So it's just the maintenance about it. And we can actually do something about that. And so it's very important. That's huge. Look at that big hole right there. And it's getting bigger. And I know we fixed the other side of that wall, and that was good. We can start doing that. I just want to make sure we continue doing that type of maintenance. It's very important. It's so easy for us to say, we'll do it next year. We'll do it next year. Well, it's been 3 or 4 years. Okay, Louis, this wall right here, this was fixed how long ago? 2 years ago?
Yes.
Yeah, it's 2 years ago. How many walls have you replaced since then?
None. Just because of budget and again.
4,000 here, 15,000. I'm pretty sure we can find it. I mean,
To
Matias,
replace all that I just showed you, Mayor, all the walls, it would be a total of about $50,000 to replace all the walls that I just presented to you.
yeah, we can actually take some money from Matias building, maintenance building, and actually, I know we can find 50,000.
I will work with finance and admin and work on that, Mayor.
50,000 we can find, trust me, we can find.
Louis,
No way, Matias.
But yes,
One at a time, one at a time.
Louis, no, but I do want to comment on staff and not only parks, but, you know, building and planning and development services. I noticed that on all the new subdivisions, like for example, BNSR 10, they're doing like a 3 or 3 foot buffer zone between the wall and the downhill, and they're putting desert rock around it to avoid this happening in the newer subdivisions that we're building in town. Again, unfortunately, like Mayor saying and Louis, this is stuff that was built 20 years ago, wasn't with that mindset in there. But we do need to keep that maintenance, like the mayor says, he could cough up some money from his mayor's contingency fund, but I think you need probably about 100,000 to cover all these walls. But I think we do need to keep, like we did with the streets, low cost, high impact. Do the same thing with all these retention centers and start replacing some of these walls. Yeah, that is one of the big concerns. I mean, and you didn't even show the worst wall of all, which is down in Los Portales off of Merle, connecting from County 22nd to that. I mean, that one right there, if you look at it, it could be 2-3 foot inches off of your leg, and that thing is like, see. Entonces, I agree, but we do need to maintain and get some stuff done.
Okay, good.
And that's all that I have to say on that.
Okay. I'm going to open the floor now. A ver. Jose Ponce, comments, questions, or concerns?
Well, this is something that needs to be done. I agree with you, Mayor. That's it.
Thank you, Jose. Vice Mayor?
Yes, Mayor, another good project, yeah. There's one retention basin here on 10th and, I can't remember, next to Cesar Chavez School. That one's like completely off. So I didn't know whether it was our responsibility or the owners of the house responsibility. I mean, that one's totally destroyed. But I know it's hard, but we're gonna have to start implementing and keep it on the budget and just make it a routine maintenance, just like the streets. There we go again with the streets, but.
If I can make a comment, Mayor, again,
Yes.
these are the block walls that we've had issue with because of the sprinklers. But like Councilman Rosales mentioned, if you see the new subdivisions, we won't have this issue, and there's actually pathways that we're incorporating now along the block, next to the block wall where there's no water. So, the residents can use it as a walking path, so.
Good deal. Thank you. Matias Rosales, okay, you done, Matias?
I just want to mention the Alamo was built how many years ago, and those walls are still standing. So maybe we gotta get the people out here.
Remember the Alamo. Yeah.
Well, knock on wood.
Africa?
No question, Mayor. Good item you placed on the agenda.
Gloria Torres, comments, questions, or concerns?
Mayor, no question.
Thank you. Mario, any comment, questions, or concerns?
I say that mayor should fix this wall.
Hey, just let me, seriously. Then I get accused of, I don't know, building a higher wall than usual. I don't know. Thank you, Louis.
You're welcome.
Appreciate it. Good comment, Mario. Okay, item number 2F, discussion and possible action of staff in all matters regarding, oh no, I'm sorry, that's already done that.
Mayor, you skipped 2D.
Oh, there we go. Oh, did I? Well, let me finish let's see here, Main Street, and then I'll go back there. Update on any all matters regarding the maintenance and sidewalks and benches located on Main Street. I want to make sure that we do
Whenever we wash the sidewalks, whenever we actually hose down Main Street, it actually looks good for 2 or 3 weeks. And then it goes back. We're going to start getting our seasonal workers, and then we're going to start seeing a lot of, when we have our sidewalks, especially on Main Street, I want to see the Main Street that when it was built, as close to that as we can. It's constantly, especially from our seniors, I'm getting the complaint that we're not doing enough to keep our Main Street clean. I know we have a specific person dedicated to that, but I would really want to see at least once a month our sidewalks pressure washed and like they do in Somerton. I'm sorry, but I'm comparing us to Somerton because it does make a difference. Last week I had a little stroll down and the sidewalks look filthy. And the thing is, and there's a lot of people walking through them. So I know it's hard to keep it always clean, but would be nice. Water does miracles. A little bit of soap in it, and it does miracles. So I want to make sure we continue a regular maintenance schedule of the sidewalks and benches, and also we need those. I'm not sure if those shaded structures are they were built by us or they were built by the private owners that were there. But some of those shaded structures look really old and lack of maintenance. A little bit of paintbrush would actually make a big difference. So these are things that are being brought to my attention by our senior residents that actually spend time there and sit there and they talk and so I want your feedback, please. Mr. Vera?
Yes, Mayor, Vice Mayor, members of council. So yeah, we'll I know we talked about this item in the past. Currently, we wash benches and sidewalks. Benches we do every week, at least once a week. Same thing with the trash cans. What we don't do that often is the sidewalk and the gum, which is sort of the issue around trash cans. But we do pressure wash, I would say, once every month, maybe 2 months at the most. And I agree. I mean, from here on out, starting in October, we have to do it with a lot bigger frequency just because of our seasonal worker and the seasonal traffic. So we'll increase the frequency of cleanup, both benches, sidewalks, and trash. One of the things that we did, meet with Mr. Galaviz on some of the items and things that we can do on the downtown regarding the shrubbery that's not in the same condition as it was, in 2014 when it was turned over to us. And they did an example in a little section of doing artificial turf and a couple of the planters there. So that might be something that we will be looking into that would definitely look better and will be less maintenance and will be more aesthetically pleasing for the area.
That's what I want, Mr. Vera. I want to make sure that when a visitor comes from out of town, it's going to go to San Luis Colorado, and they have to wait in line to cross over, that they look at our town. Last, what was that? Before the COVID situation hit, there was a couple of visitors, and they were both from the Middle East. One was from Egypt, and the other person, I believe, was from Dubai. Okay, and they're on their way to the airport, and they were my friend of my son's, and they were going to go to Cancun. And so my son says, "Oh, this is San Luis," and one of them says, "Oh, it reminds me of Beirut or something like that." I'm like, "Whoa, this is someone coming from another place." I want to make sure that our streets, our signs, that we make an impact. Whoever, it doesn't matter who it is. We want to make sure that our streets are clean. We want to make sure that when someone comes down and says, "This is a really nice place." And so if we need to look at the greenery, type of brushes, because I still see the same brushes or the same trees that wanted to grow, but they're not growing. They just stayed the same size. They're still yellow as when they first got planted. So let's look at the greenery. Let's look at the possibilities of improving the aesthetics, the image. And it's all about the image. It's because we only have 5-10 minutes for a visitor to give them an impression of our city. So when the vice mayor did mention about our entrances, I'm talking about our main street. And so we want to make sure we have a beautiful main street. We want to keep it that way. And if we have to hire 1 or 2 people more, I think it's worthwhile, because I do not want to see our downtown go down like a lot of downtowns do. And I don't want to see 10, 15 years from now, we have to reinvent downtown again. We should invest now in the maintenance, make sure that that it actually looks good, and not just 1 or 2 weeks. I just want to make sure we do a maintenance plan, an aggressive maintenance plan. So I'm not saying that you're not, but we need to do aggressive, and we need to look at the greenery or the type of plants that we're planting, and maybe look at artificial turf. The roundabout looks excellent. It looks really good. It looks modern, and I like that. And so we need to look at Main Street as a whole, because when someone comes to the city of San Luis, they go through Main Street or next to it. I want to make sure when they leave, they says, this is really a nice town. And that's the idea we want to generate. So hopefully that helps, Mr. Vera.
Definitely, Mayor. We'll definitely commit to improving downtown, and we'll add more time on downtown, for sure.
Okay, good. Thank you. I'm going to go ahead and open the floors. Mr. Jose Ponce?
No questions, sir. Thank you.
Matia Rosales, sorry about that. I know you wanted to be, you're really interested in this one.
I got another comment there to add to that. And I know I brought this up to staff, so I don't know if it's something maybe all the departments need to work together. I think it starts with code enforcement, business license. Can we get rid of all those abandoned payphones that are just tagged up with no payphones, nothing there that's working? They're just the bases that got left behind. I myself went and took down 2 from the Comite gas station because they gave me permission to do it. Even the ones that are operational, there has to be some expectations for the business license to maintain them and keep them clean. I mean, I used to own payphones back in the day, then the cities had rules and regulations about that. So if you go down Main Street, you'll find 10 abandoned ones, just tagged up and dirty and nasty looking. So that's my 5 cents on that.
Okay, thank you. Yes, it's actually on the schedule for them to get removed, so they should be gone within the next week at the most. So all the abandoned ones, they will be removed here shortly.
Thank you, Mr. Vera. Excellent comment.
And not abandoned ones that are operational, but they don't keep them clean, especially with this COVID situation.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this: are they even paying the business license of ones that are still operational?
So part of the plan for the removal was that we're gonna look at the ones that are operational and contact them. But I think there might be only one of them that's operational. I think all the other ones, I believe. Can't remember how long ago, but it's maybe a couple months ago. The code enforcement went through all of them, and I think most of them have been disconnected. So either way, the plan was to just remove all the ones that are not connected, and either way, so we'll contact the owners of the ones that are, if we find any.
Excellent comment. Excellent comment, Matias. Excellent comment. And so I agree with you. Vice Mayor, comments, questions, or concerns?
Yes, Mayor, I just wanted to comment about the artificial turf. I think that would be a great improvement. Mr. Vera, thank you. I really do appreciate that, because like I said, it's going to be low maintenance, but it's always going to be green. So hopefully we can implement that.
Yes, and along those lines, Louis and the Parks Department, they already did a couple planters as example. We just didn't upload the image for today's presentation. But yeah, it does look nice, and they left a couple big rocks, boulders. It is really nice. So we'll be moving forward with that on some of the areas to start off, and as budget permits.
Great, thank you, guys.
Good job,
And-
Vice Mayor.
And just to add, both of us have been working on different plans for Main Street. We're looking at making making it a little bit more pedestrian flow friendly and lining up the benches and the trash receptacles more in line with the trees. And so that when we have the high traffic, we have a good north and southbound walking lanes for the residents, and they're not kind of moving everywhere and walking through plants and different things like that. So you should see that difference. And Public Works has some pavers that we're going to use to improve some of those areas. So hopefully, in next coming up, you'll see that difference.
Perfect, thank you. We're gonna go ahead, excellent comments, guys, appreciate it. Africa Luna Carrasco?
Just that I'm very supportive of this concept that you're talking about, Mayor. I myself have added this to the agenda at least twice. So now that you're on board and that you've experienced what you did, I'm sure that city staff will get on their feet and start acting on it, because you're so right. It needs to be cleaned. It needs to be upkept, because that's what people have. What do they say? 5 seconds to make a good impression. So I'm so glad you're on it, Mayor.
It's something that needs to be done, because what I did is I looked at previous, you brought it up several times. I brought it up, the Vice Mayor brought it up, Matias brought it up, but I believe Mario also brought it up. And the thing is, and I just want to make sure we don't drop the ball. Little things like that make a big impact. And the thing is, I'm looking at things that affect our images. I've been talking to people that are friends of mine that are from out of town, and I take advantage of, okay, what does your city do? What do you like about your city? The pathways is the biggest. Right now, pathways are big, and the thing is, they were then when we brought them up, and they're good now. I worry about what has happening in Calexico and El Centro. They're downtown. They're trying to invest all this money to bring it to revitalize. We don't want to do that. We want to make sure that we have a great downtown. Louis has a vision. Parks and Recs and Planning and Zoning and Mr. Reda. I mean, we have a plan for downtown. So we're building a multi-complex park. And the thing is, we need to stay on the pathway. Yes, there is a pandemic, but we can actually do something. We can do all the legwork right now. And I want to make sure that the booming town of Arizona continues to
Somebody's having a party without us.
It's not me, not yet, not me, but no, Africa, you're so correct. And the thing is, and that's what I brought it, because I know you brought it up. And the thing is, I want to make sure that we need to refocus again. We need to stay focused again. We were doing so great. We are doing so great, and we can do better. I want to make sure we have the same momentum. I want to make sure that we get things done, and we become as efficient or more efficient. We want to make sure that our employees are happy. We want to make sure that our residents are happy. And so there's a lot of little things that we can do. Yeah, Matias on the left. Okay. So thank you so much. Thank you, Africa. Let's see here. Gloria, comments, questions, or concerns? Gloria? Okay. Africa?
But they are party, La Gloria.
Yo sé. Hey, I like that. Ya me estaba moviendo yo. ¿Qué pasó? Okay, sounds good. So, okay, Mario, comments, questions, or concerns? I know
Yes,
you
Mayor.
brought it up.
Yeah, let us not forget that we have come a long way on Main Street. You know, we've been fighting for this for so many years, you know, to have our Main Street, you know, remodel. I mean, it was a fight, you know, constantly, Mayor. You remember that when we came in and we wanted to change things around, you know, and it was a constant battle that I believe Ralph helped a lot on that area, you know, because of replacing the bicycles from Main Street, you know, making it beautiful, you know, making it more beautiful, you know, for our citizens and for people that visited San Luis, and rearranging the Chinitos place, you know, having the tents, having the bicycles out there, you know. I remember those days. You guys do too, you know. And let's not forget about it. Let's keep, you know, the maintenance. It's all about maintenance, I believe. It's something that San Luis needs to keep it up, you know, just keep it up on that maintenance area. And it's difficult. It's difficult to see the Main Street, you know, falling apart, you know, sometimes, you know, it's not that bad, but I mean, you don't want to hear those comments, you know, about Main Street because it was a new area for San Luis, to be honest. So, that's all my comment. Thank you, Mayor.
No, gracias de veras, Mario. And the thing is, and that's so true. Little things like that, we need to make an impact. And the thing is, we need the momentum. And the thing is, I think I want to make sure that the public understand that we're continuously working, staff, council, the city's continue seeking and working to make San Luis a better place. Just because we're growing doesn't mean we're going to stop doing things. Just because we're in pandemic, no. It's right now is time so we can rethink, reorganize, and actually continue the same momentum. And we want to make sure that our image, we want to make sure that we give a very positive image, that to make sure that our parks are being kept, make sure that our facilities are being kept, and our streets are being kept. And let's take this continue this progressive, proactive things that are going on. And so, first and foremost, I want to make sure that staff understands we're very grateful for everything you guys do. You really are. And the thing is, we just need to be, we need to focus on certain things. And let's make this city a better place. It's already good, but we can do it better. And let's do this, make San Luis great again. So, sorry guys.
And Mayor, you want to build the wall and make it great.
So I am building walls. I am building walk paths. I'm cleaning benches. And we're getting rid of old phones. So, hey, so ya saben. So,
Mayor, just to close this item, if I may, with just saying that this is going to be kind of similar with what we do with Cesar Chavez, that we're going to work, the Parks and Public Works will work together on implementing these ideas and direction that you have. And really, staff, we really appreciate you, informing us or directing us on the priorities that you would like to see as a mayor and council. And so we have our direction and moving forward. And I think we'll do the same thing with Main Street, you know, keep making it look better, more attractive. And we know that, you know, Jenny Torres and well, you know, economic development and community development and public works and myself on the downtown plan that we put together, that will just really, you know, work together in partnership as we develop Main Street now, and then when that plan comes in place, it'll fit right into place. So we'll definitely start working on that.
perfect. No, thank you, Louis. And also thank staff, please. And the thing is, we're just trying to look, how can we improve our city? So thank you. And also council, thank you. Thank you so much for the support. And and we're on the same page. We want to make sure that the city is continuously going forward, and it's all about the image, and it's all about creating a very positive environment, a very aesthetically good-looking parks and city for our residents to be proud of. So good job. Thank you. Now, I believe I forgot an item number 2D. Correct me if I'm wrong, Kay?
That's it, Mayor.
Okay, item 2D, discussion and possible direction of staff in all matters regarding the modification of the general rules and policies for all open areas and parks throughout the city. Whoa, yeah, it's a big one.
We saved the best for last. I don't think I've left since I started. Mayor and council, and vice mayor, we went out, we did the survey, and if Sonia, if you could put up the hourly survey that I sent on the pictures, I believe so. Yes. So if you can see there, the 10 o'clock and the 11 o'clock were pretty close. I want to say it was, 51.5% to 49.5%. So it was pretty even. So I look for mayor and council's direction on that to kind of finalize that. And so
Louis, that depends. How many people voted? 2? Me and someone else, or?
Yeah, me and Matias voted in. So
yeah, it was close. We had close to
300
300 respondents.
Oh, there you go, Mario.
So I
300, you said?
Yes.
Wow. I think Matias.
Split it down the middle. Go to 10:30. Fair. Let's go. Next.
11.
Party.
I am open to any recommendations, and I will put that down. If 10:30 works.
11, yes, 11.
11 works. We're good.
Okay.
11.
All right.
Guys,
So we'll go at 11.
Jose Ponce.
And we did have the survey, and so I wanted to kind of share some of the part questions that we also did for the survey, and it was, what did you enjoy most about our city parks? And I know we've been here, but I think this is important to share what the residents had to say. What some of the things that I'm not going to go through all of them, but I'm just going to highlight some of them. Is walking in the park and feeling safe was big. Park cleanliness and maintenance, and so that was nice to hear. That the parks are green and clean. We have a variety of sports activities. A lot of people mentioned that they like the proximity of the open areas to their neighborhoods. So those were kind of the top things that they mentioned what they liked. We also asked them what would they like to see more of at the parks. Of course, more shades, more playgrounds, more bathrooms, more lighting, of course. That's something we hear a lot of. One of the things that we're going to look into is more toddler designated playgrounds for younger, smaller kids. So that's something that we're going to look at. Another thing I found interesting, and especially during this time, is nowadays we have water fountains, but they're new water fountains that have the refillable water bottle that you can fill up your water bottle, and so you just fill it up and go. So we'll look into those. Mayor, they commented exercise workout machines at the parks, at the pathways. So that was one of them. And a restroom at 9A, which we're currently working on and hope to have done by the end of this fiscal year. Special needs playgrounds was one of the things that came up a little bit more of. The challenging one is more parking at these areas, but because a lot of them are retention areas, that's limited. They did mention, and it's not always all good, is they want cleaner restrooms, so that's something we'll work on. And then one of the other things they commented a lot was they want another park, not only Jorduño. You know, and then the last couple of things that kind of popped out were bicycle paths, more event halls, and a community garden. So those are the things that we will take in consideration and work with staff on to develop. But I just wanted to share that with you.
Well, Louis, fortunately enough, we are already working on most of them, the vast
Yes.
majority of them. And we discuss, even without looking at the survey, we discussed them, and we already have a plan in play. So the next year, year and a half, 2 years, that should be our focus. By the way, we're also building all this stuff. Okay, guys? So there's absolutely no reason why someone to say, well, I have nothing to do. Oh, no, we have a lot of things to do. So, no, just there you go, Louis. Another example based on the survey. Trust me, I got an earful a couple of weeks ago. And so, good job, I don't say. A lot of work to do, but good job.
And
Go ahead, I'm sorry.
no, Mayor, I just wanted to make the comment that we really, you know, surveys, you never know how they're going to turn out, but this gave us a good start, and our department is really interested in doing more surveys on certain things because we really want to get the feedback. We know it's not always, you know, we're going to get good and bad, but we want to hear those things from the residents, so we know that we're focusing on what they want to see in our community.
Very good. Thank you, Louis. I'm going to go and open the floor real quick. Jose Ponce, comments, questions, and concerns?
Yeah, I mean, I agree with all those comments and with the plan. And then I'm okay with 11 o'clock p.m. For the parks. One thing, I mean, I didn't see what's the anything concerning the pets, you know, the mascotas. Do we have any rules concerning those animals?
Yes, part of the park rules that are in place are that residents pick up after their pets. And one of the things that it was on there and I didn't mention, I apologize, is that they would like us to have more baggie stations for them to be able to take their pets and use the baggies to pick up after them. The only challenge there is we have certain, where we have these poop bags, as they call them. But what we run into with them is a lot of vandalism, and they take the whole row. And so that's been something that we might have to look at how we can address that, because I believe there's 6 to 8 of those different dispensers around the city, and we've tried to fill them and try to do different things, and it doesn't work in the sense of we get people coming in and taking the whole row with them, and then we're left without them, and we're just... So one of the things that we are going to look at that I saw in other cities do, and maybe Mayor and Council, you can give me direction if you like it or not, is they use the plastic bags. They collect plastic bags, you know, from any of the different stores, and they stuff them, and that's what they use. That's what they use instead of the green bags that are usually. And so there's a lot of those, and so that's another reusable thing for them. But, you know, plastic bags are always, you know, something that, you know, there's pros and cons.
Well, anything, if we can use, I mean, yeah, I agree.
Matias.
Thank you, Louis.
You're welcome.
I agree. Good job. Ponce?
Thank you. Thank you, Mayor. That's it. Thank you.
Perfect. Vice Mayor?
No comments, Mayor.
Thank you. Matias? You have a comment regarding the bags, I mean.
Nope, none.
Okay, good, good. Africa Luna Carrasco, comments, questions, and concerns?
None, Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you. Gloria, comments, questions, and concerns?
Not fair.
Thank you. Mario, comments, questions, and concerns?
None, Mayor. Take your own bags.
Concur. Take your own bags, de veras. O sea, hey, take someone from de la Walmart, Family Dollar, and take your own bag. Okay. So good job, Louis. Got it.
I think that's it, Mayor.
11 o'clock. 11 o'clock. I give everyone 11 o'clock. I think is a good time.
So these, the rules that are in place, I will present them at the next council meeting for your approval.
Sounds good. Thank you, Louis.
That's all I have.
Perfect. So we're all done. Point of clarification, Kay, legally speaking, did we go through all the items?
Yes, you hit every single one.
Thank you. Thank you. I just want to say good night, guys. Stay safe. Be safe. We have seen a couple of numbers of COVID. Hopefully, it was just a small little number. But continue wearing masks. Very important. Social distancing, but the mask is very important, guys. So let's not get lax in our masks. So take care. Be safe. Have a good night. Thank you, council. Thank you, staff. And buenas noches. I will now entertain a motion to adjourn.
Oh,
Second.
There's a motion, there's a second, and all those in favor?
Aye.
All those against? Motion carries. And Matias on the left side, por favor. Okay? Take care, guys.
Good night.